We're back. I love saying that, but especially for this reason, I'm trying to move over and get a little more comfortable. Hello, everyone. We are back with another Stories of, and I hate that I don't have the book in my hand. It is available on Kindle right now. The links are in the description, but we are back with another Stories of, and this one is Transgression and Recovery. And y'all, this book is something else. And I read every single chapter, and these stories are going to, I think I put knock your socks off, knock you off your feet. Um, these are real stories, y'all. This is not a pretend story. These are not made up stories. These are not any of those kinds of stories. I'm gonna let Angela in and put her in the background. Hi, Ange. I'm gonna put you in the background. Maybe I can find it out. Um, but these are stories from real people that have gone through addiction, who have gone through trauma, um, all the things. Y'all, the cover of the book, part of the cover of the book is Behind Trueness and I. And you can see some of the things that are in that cover. And they're there for a reason. And when you read this book, you'll see why. Um, yeah. So Trueness, keep bringing me ideas, and I'll never say no to any of them, because we're doing this for a reason. We do these books, these Stories of series, um, for a real reason, because we believe in getting these stories out there. We believe in helping as many people as we can, um, and just get, number one, get their true stories out there, but also helping the people that need to hear these stories. And that's why we're doing them. So tell everybody a little bit about why you wanted to do this one.
Yes, the stories of transgression and recovery. It does not matter who you are, where you are in life. Doesn't matter your color. Doesn't matter your political affiliation. It doesn't matter anything. You are affected in some way, shape, or form with drugs and alcohol. You're affected with that situation. It could be in your household. It could be in your neighborhood. It could be in your job. It could be anywhere. It's just there. And there are people who are struggling. There are people who are doing the act. And there are people who are involved with people who are involved in addiction. And it is a stressful thing. I mean, a lot of people talk about drugs and their hangover, but in some cases it's the person who's going through it with that person who is taking the drug itself that are going through hangovers, lost sleep, health issues, all those other things because of the stress that comes on with it. And so what I wanted to do with this book here is I want to do a couple things. We've had stories of before. We've had stories of children lost. You have stories of veterans in transition, and we had stories of friends and family loss. And in all three of those books, basically, you're grieving. You're never going to get that person back, unfortunately. When you get out of the military, I mean, yes, you could go back in some cases, but in other cases, you're out. You're out. You're done. Okay. At that point, here's how you're going to work through this transition out of the military. But in this book right here, this is the book. This is the first of the stories of series where you can get out. And we have 8 great individuals who talk about you getting out. And these individuals, not only did they get out, they got out in miraculous ways. And you're going to meet some of them today. And with all of the stories of books, we are working with nonprofits throughout the world to help them advance their cause and help people, especially in this case, get out of their situations, and even make the transition easier. I was talking to someone just 2 days ago, and he runs a sober living facility that we are going to be assisting. And he said when because he was a person who went through addiction himself, he said when he got out of prison, they came in, got him out of prison, they literally opened the door, opened the gate, said you're on your own, you're done, and he did not know where to go. So he went to a friend's house, and the friend they thought was going through recovery. And when he got over there, he found out that everybody that was over at the house, they were all strung out. And so he's like, wow, they put me in a situation where I'm putting myself in a situation right now where I need a place to sleep, but I'm also in a situation where I can be tempted to go back to that situation. This book here is designed to help people not get back in that situation, be aware of that situation, and be absolutely inspired by individuals who have gotten out of their situations in a miraculous way, and have succeeded. And that's why I'm sharing their stories.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you see it portrayed on TV and all the things, but if you watch any of the true documentaries, the true stories of people coming home and walking out of that prison,
Mhm.
and nobody's there,
That's right.
and they're calling a taxi, or they're just getting on a bus and they go off to wherever, and there isn't a support system. And it's what do you do now? And
Absolutely.
a lot of times they do go back. What
Mhm.
else are they going to do if there's nobody
Exactly.
there to tell them anything different? What else? If that's what they know,
Mhm.
what else are you going to do? And I commend you for hooking up with some men and stuff. And I know you go into the prisons and you talk to people and everything. And I know a lot of our authors have taken that role, that have been in the prison system, and they do that now. They have taken that upon themselves to be those people that
Absolutely.
help. And I know a lot of the authors, that the things that they have gone through, they haven't just gotten out of it and then turned their back on everything.
Mhm.
They see the people that are in it now, and they have a heart for that. And I can understand that, because the things that you go through, you can't just go through that and then pretend it never happened. You see it happening to other people, and you have to help.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. So we are going to get into this book. I'm going to open the book on my computer. So I have the table of contents, because we're just going to go straight down through, and we're going to talk to our authors and hear a little bit more about them. And we're not going to give you the stories. We're not going to give the stories away, because we want you to get the book. And y'all, if we told you their stories outright, we would be on here way too long. So
Absolutely. Plus, you probably
we
wouldn't.
want to be
Yeah, you would probably ask too many questions. You would want to know what, and then what happened. Yes.
right.
Hmm.
And I mean, they're such good stories, and I guarantee you, yeah, every single one of these authors um, need to write a book.
Hmm.
And I guarantee you they will. And I'm going to let Ryan back in, and we're going to just keep him on screen with us, because we apparently lost him. Hi,
No, he's right
Ryan.
here.
Yeah, he's right here. Hi, Ryan. We were just
Hello.
talking about you. So before you get started, I want Trueness to tell us a little bit about you and talk about you first.
You know, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, Ryan is a outstanding individual. I'm going to tell you the funny thing about Ryan is, when I first met him, I was writing my book, The 4 Ps of You. And I was almost done with it, and he came up to me and he says, "Hey, I got this document I want you to read." And it was handwritten, if I remember correctly. I think I still have it. It's over here. I still have it, Ryan. And I read it. It was just a beautiful piece of art. It was what he wrote. It was from the depths of his soul, for sure. I met him in prison. I met him at the Edinburgh Correctional Facility while he was almost done serving his time. He was almost done with it. And he told me, "I am going to do all of these things when I get out of prison." And he told me exactly what he was going to do. And he says, he thanked me for the class I gave him, and this, that, and the other. But the funny thing is I'm going to tell you, he really didn't need my class. This man was motivated and dedicated to go out there and achieve, and to live a sober life, and to do things to help others. And he has done that. And we've been in contact with each other now for quite a while. And then after that, I when this book came out, I said he needed to be on it. So I want Ryan to go ahead and give his accolades, because I could talk about him forever and ever and ever.
Well, don't know where to start, but uh, give me a little cue on where to start. What do you want me to start with?
Just start like, okay, so you're a part of this book and you're doing other things. What are you doing in Indiana right now?
Well, I currently work as a case manager and peer support specialist at one of the larger rehab facility companies in Indianapolis or Indiana. So I'm on the board of directors of New Leaf, New Life. It's a nonprofit in Bloomington, Indiana that assists people when they're getting out of prison. It's the main focus. We also assist people when they get out of 28-day treatment programs and homeless people, people experiencing homelessness when they need resources. We also provide those. And me and my wife are both in recovery. She just got all her stuff together to do primary care. She's going to do mat treatment and working on getting therapists and stuff together. And I just started a nonprofit. I just got the paperwork filed for nonprofit. And it's going to be kind of for Indianapolis. I'm going to do it in Indianapolis, and it's going to be kind of mirror what New Leaf, New Life does, but it's going to take it a few steps further. It's going to hopefully expand out and have sober living, and this is going to be a real harm reduction type model too. They can come. We're going to meet them where they're at. No conditions on any kind of humanitarian aid. We're going to have food, clothing, and then when they're ready, if they want each step of stage of change they want to go through, we're going to help them. If they want to stay wherever they want to stay in that range, we're going to always be there to help. But ultimately, we hope that they make that jump towards sobriety and a new life, and we'll be there to walk them all the way through it.
And in your recovery right now, I'm sitting here watching you right now. I know you're in your car, and you live in Indiana. I just want to say he does live in Indiana. All right. But there are no palm trees in Indiana. But I happen to see a few of them right now behind you. Life is really getting getting good for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, real good. It's better than I'd ever dreamed of, considering what I've been through and the situations I've been in. So it's like, I mean, God's been great. It's I can only give God the credit for all of it. I mean, both me and my wife were full-fledged addiction 10 years ago, and she's we kind of separated for a while and went different ways, and she's now a nurse practitioner, and I'm doing what I'm doing, and it's just miraculous, really. I can't give the credit to anybody else but God, and of course I had to do the work after he showed me what I had to do, but it's definitely I can't believe some of the stuff that happens on a daily basis. There's the opportunities that open up for me and so forth. So it's truly.
If you wanted, when you wrote this chapter, and first of all, I do appreciate you being so brave to share everything that you shared in this chapter. I read it, and the funny thing is I was a small part of it. I remember a little bit of it, but out of this chapter that you wrote, if you wanted someone to get, what do you? Let me ask this question. Let me ask it this way: what do you want someone to get out of this chapter?
Those that have been, as a lot of people incarcerated or suffering through addiction, share the same childhood circumstances. And then for those who don't quite understand it, I think it serves two purposes. It walks both individuals through an understanding of how somebody can end up, go from have all the potential starting out in life and end up in and out of prison, hopeless. And then it can also show those people that feel like there's no way to get out of it, that there is a way to get out. It's just so I think I try to do my best to kind of I was limited on, the space I had to do it in. So I tried my best to kind of walk through each stage of it. So that was hopefully that's what I can achieve with it. So.
Absolutely. Ryan, thank you so much for being a part of this book. Again, his chapter is riveting. The story of Ryan Mader. You'll be able to read it. Matter of fact, it is the very second chapter. My chapter is the first chapter, but it's this very second chapter of this book. And I appreciate you being on it. Thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate it. Go back and enjoy yourself. Do me a favor, if you see any conch shells, bring some back. I'll see you in a couple weeks. All right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys for the opportunity to share my story. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ryan.
Bye.
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, his story is amazing, and I know he's gonna write a book eventually, and it's gonna be out there. So I'm so excited.
Yes, he's an awesome individual.
Yes. Next up, we have 𝗞𝗏𝗱𝗨. Anything you want to say about him before we bring him up?
I've known 𝗞𝗏𝗱𝗏𝗪 since Ronald Reagan was president of the United States.
Wow.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. There's a lot of people. It has been. It's been forever.
Yeah.
But with Scott, one thing I got to say about Scott. Scott was an individual who is. We used to sit in the school. We used to call it the Commons in our high school. And he would sit in the Commons, him and I, and if I wasn't going out smoking cigarettes, because I was old enough, we had a smoking, you get a permission slip, you got to smoke. But if I wasn't out smoking cigarettes, I was talking to him. And he said, even back then, that he was going to be a radio personality. And he said it his whole entire life. And lo and behold, he is one of the quintessential radio personalities in the state of New York, and everybody knows him. And he's just a fantastic guy. So he is next. I can't wait to have him on there.
Yes.
My God, what an intro.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm saying he's a great man.
Jeez. I forgot you smoked. So there's that.
I did too, thank God.
Light him up. Ronald Reagan was president. God, and I have to deal with my co-host cracking jokes about being 54. That was nice. Thanks. Jeez. All right, trivia question. Who was his vice president? Do you remember?
Yes, George H.W. Bush.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
See, we used to learn politics in school here.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. That's funny. No, yes. I'm so glad that you are here, and your story was great. I mean, you're more coming from the aspect of having that partner that was in it, and in being part of that reality, but also being kind of not so much the cause, but also having that cause and effect going on and all of that. So I appreciate your story and understand it, and from that viewpoint and everything. So, yeah, Trueness, I love your back and forth with these people, especially because you know them. So it works really good with the back and forth with you, because you know a lot of these. I have a few that I know, so I'm just going to let you have at it.
With Scott, and I'm going to ask you a great question. I know a little bit about a story. We saw each other during the high school reunion, long time ago, 20 something. It was 25, 30 something, whatever it was.
I don't know. You pointed out we're coming up to our 40th, and
I did point that out, and that was harsh. But and so as I watch him again, his determination as an individual, and it's just unbelievable, and his story, and I want him to share it. One thing that got me about his story is a lot of things that happened to Scott was beyond his control. It was out of his control. And that's what I talked about before when we first started, is that those stories need to be told, because sometimes someone else's issue will become your major issue, and you didn't plan for it at all. Scott, again, thank you for sharing the story. What would you like to add to that?
Well, I'm certainly not here as a representative of Al-Anon, although that was of great help to me and is. And I will say that in my story, you find and you learn that alcoholism is a family disease, whatever that family looks like, whether it is, certainly you can look at a family and you can say, well, genetically, there are grandparents and it affects parents and that's your immediate family. But families beyond that, or what becomes a family, can be greatly affected from it. I went through, I like to describe so much of that phase of my life as waiting for the next crisis. And then the next crisis would come. And it was some very odd adrenaline to have to deal with that crisis and pick up the pieces time and time again. It would be easy to say it is the drinker's fault, but you learn very quickly that you can play into it. And I don't mean by drinking with them, but by your actions. And one of the things that you learned in Al-Anon, and this slogan's in the book, is you didn't cause it, you can't control it, and you can't cure it. And of two of those, because I was not there for the initial phase of it, that happened many years before I became involved in this person's life. I failed miserably, and this is in the book, with the control and the curing, thinking that you could. Everything from love can cure it to, just giving them what they want will cure it. And it's almost as though you get caught in a tornado that, like any tornado, you have no control over it. There is no, when that storm's coming, you have a choice: find safe haven or you're caught up in it.
Absolutely.
Now add children to the mix, and the dilemma that can become, because there are young children that are involved. There is a mother that struggled back and forth with drinking on a regular basis. There is manipulation that comes to play, because many times an addict, especially an active addict, will really, really have I'm going to call it an ability of manipulation that is almost impossible to tear away from. Everything from guilt to negotiating to finger pointing. It's very difficult. If they're in the midst of their addiction, you are stuck. You have a choice to either walk away, which I should have much earlier, for a multitude of reasons, including my children, so they wouldn't have to go through as much, with one of them remembering more than anyone realized. So I would tell folks, if they see the signs, if they have suspicions, and sometimes it's very difficult to see that, but if you do, you have to seek help. I wish I would have found Al-Anon almost immediately when I realized things were not right. And it became clear in my story when things were not right. It didn't show it immediately, but then it showed it's not right. And had I gotten the right help and the right support, and a wonderful therapist, which I found down the line to help me through the end game of that chapter, it would have been a different place. So there is the possibility to do what you need to do for yourself. Again, I sound like I'm at an Al-Anon meeting, but that's true. You have to live. You have to take care of yourself. And you have to take care of the innocent. And that really is what this is about. And it should be pointed out, it's not negative finger pointing, this story. This is as close to a historical as possible. And I had someone on the radio show this morning. We announced the book went on sale, and someone had purchased the book and said, I can't wait to read it. Messaged about an hour later and said, I loved it. I wish there was more. And I said, I'll blame the editor. So, there you have it.
There is a hell of a lot more. One thing I do have to say about you, Scott, is the same is, as a parent, a single parent going through what you're going through and holding everything together, the way you're holding it. I know you have help, but to hold it down like you're holding it, I admire it. And I go back and we were high school friends, and I just remember, and I think that if I could, I'd go back to the commons just myself, and I would go back and beat you and me up pretty bad for wishing can't wait till we graduate. Remember we said that? Yeah. That was a dumb thing that we said, buddy. I'd go back to those 17-year-old kids and smack them both in the face. But yes, I do appreciate you being on here. I do appreciate you being a part of the book. People need to hear that part of the story. People need to hear, and it's and especially how you navigate through that. I didn't say how you navigate it. I say how you navigate because it's still an ongoing situation for you.
Oh,
How you're
sure.
navigating through this. Yeah.
There is, for many people, I think they may find their own path. For people in recovery, they have found their path, whatever that looks like. For those that are not necessarily in recovery, you got to get the support. And I am very lucky. Yes, technically am a single parent, but I'm not. I have a very supportive significant other, and she puts the kids first, and that is remarkable because I actually Trunis, I'll share this really quick and then I'll jump off. You may remember I was adopted at 4 days old. I've never gone searching for my biological parents, and to have parents that were adopted me and up until their passing, I was number one. That resonates for me, and to find a partner that does that for two children that are not hers, but treats them to that level is really remarkable. And I'm very blessed in that. And that also helps in my own personal recovery from what my chapter is about. And there's your tease.
There you go. And Scott, I will finish this off by saying thank you again for being a part of this, but also thank you for being a friend of mine for so many years. And
come and visit, dang it.
I will be driving through soon. Gotta stop by. And then I do know hopefully next week I get to see you in Buffalo, because I'll be there. So hopefully, I'm not holding you to it, but hopefully I'll see you.
I will do what I can, my friend. Thank you both very much.
Roger that.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, and have a great weekend. Okay.
You too.
Right, bye.
Yeah, I understand the whole adoption angle and having parents that were I was it, and I understand that. And then going into having step parents for my kids, and I get it. So yeah, no, it's great. Next up we have Miss Darcy, and I actually knew her before you did. Yes. Actually from my neck of the woods. I have yet to meet her in person, and I will. But I did not know her full story. I knew bits and pieces. I actually met her through 𝗶𝗶𝗱𝗶𝗆𝗀 is how I met her the first time. She was on Pamela's show. It seems like forever ago. And so I heard a little bit of her story then. And then it's funny though, because she came to you through Dr. Angela. Did she come through Pamela or Angela? Probably Angela brought her to you. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't remember.
But yeah,
but
it's kind of
she came to me.
Yeah, absolutely. She was absolutely for this book. But her story is just amazing. And I'm not originally from Minnesota, but my husband is. Well, he lived here a long, long time. So some of the things she talks about, he knows of them or whatever. And but for me, I'm just like, wow, that was in Minnesota. So it's like, it's just, so it's kind of interesting when I'm reading it, just kind of picturing it, you just don't think about certain things happening where you live, and it does, it happens everywhere. Absolutely. But you just don't you just don't think about it. And that's one of the bad things is we don't think about things happening in your area. So I'm going to bring Ms. Darcy on. Hopefully she's ready.
There she is.
Beautiful.
Hello.
I'm so happy that you were in this book and that you
I'm good. How are you?
Shared your story with us. Trunis, what do you have for this beautiful?
I am going to start with this, and I told you before, Darcy, You're laughing. I'm going to tell you this. I have never in my life met someone with a heart like you have. Never. And I
I
have
hope
met
you
and
have.
talked to. No, I wish I have. And that's the thing. You are probably the kindest, most loving person I've ever met. And I mean kindness and loving towards humanity itself. And to be honest with you, listening to your story and hearing your story, you have a valid reason to not be. And that's what gets me. I mean, there are so many things that you could have done. There's so many paths that you could have taken that after listening to your story, they're justified. They're like, yeah, you shouldn't have done it, but I can understand why she did it. You know what I mean? And that is not you. You have a forgiving heart. You have a forgiving soul. You have a wonderful fireplace. I just have to say that. I just have to go off on a tangent there. But you are a fantastic person, and I thank you for writing in the book. Um, I really don't. I mean, because what I want to do is talk about your story, but I do want, I just want to ask what keeps you, and I know the answer, but I want everybody to hear the answer. What keeps you smiling? What keeps you moving forward in spite of all of the adversity that you've gone through?
Um, I think it actually took me years to get there, but it literally is God who has done that for me. So I do feel like for some reason I kept my heart through all of that. I don't know how that is possible because normally I would think I would have a lot of hatred in my heart, right? But I don't have any, and I could never do that by myself. That it was too hard. I found myself many times asking, why in the world did you even put me on this planet? For what? For this? I mean, it was the number one thing that made me try to commit suicide so many times was wondering who would put me on a planet like this and leave me in this situation, and that's my life and that's it. So but that wasn't the plan. So that's the
No.
beauty of it, is it wasn't the plan.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad it wasn't. And I am going to bring this up, but I've told you about this before. During the same time Darcy was going through all of the things that she was going through, there was somebody else in Florida going through almost the exact same thing. Now, I'm going to tell you, it was almost the exact same thing. You have to read her story just to know what I'm talking about. But one of these people, both females, both blondes, all right, both got kicked out of the house, both homeless, all right. And I'm telling you, it was during the same exact time.
I
One
didn't
in
even know that.
Minnesota, it was. One is Darcy, and the other one was, and she is now a published author, and she is helping people, and she is loving people, and she has her own company now, and she's doing all these things. The other one is Eileen Warnos, and she is executed. And it was going through the same time. And I'm going to tell you the similarities between these stories up until the end are just astounding. And you definitely need to read that story. And it's funny how you can have the same situation, but with a different approach, you have a much different result. And I'm going to tell you, you have made, I mean, every time I talk to you, I don't know why, but I just have I just have to smile because you're just such a nice person. I just feel like doing something nice to somebody, I don't know why. I'm a big Buffalo Bills fan. I feel like hugging a Dolphins fan, when I talk to you. And, that's a lot of love if I can do that. So those are the things, and I appreciate you. What would you like? And I know that we've talked about it before, and I kind of want you to share this with um, with the people listening. What would you like for someone to get out of this book when they read it?
Oh my. The reason why I decided to tell my story, because I never wanted to, it never crossed my mind. In fact, it was like the last thing I wanted to do until the Lord got a hold of me and was telling me to tell my story. I had asked him, what can I do to help anybody? I don't have any sort of talents, or, you know what I mean? I didn't know what could I give anybody. And I literally heard the words, "You have your story." And so I thought, okay, I'm going to run with it. But what really did it was when I traveled with the ministry we went to 198 cities, I think they went to, and I went to many, many, many of those. But everywhere we went, the fentanyl epidemic and deaths were really high in every single place that we went. And so I was like seeing all these and hearing about all these young people and older people, but teens dying of fentanyl just like that. And I'm like, I got to do something. I really got to do something. They got to know that they have to get out of this, that they can. With me, I had the same feeling that they did, was I hoped I would die that night and not wake up. And I hear that from a lot of them. That's my hope, is that I don't wake up. And because I don't think they can get out, but you really can. And if you can get out of the situation like I was in, where it was even more than addiction, I think I ran to addiction just to not feel what was happening. And but suicide attempts and being in the wrong place at the wrong time and being in the hands of men that were so violent, it was, you're lucky to be alive. And all of these things, if God can pull me out of that, and I'm here right now and I'm alive and well, so can you. And I really want people to not die that way,
No, that's not the way to go. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Darcy, thank you so much for being a part of
You're
this
welcome.
show.
Thank you for letting me.
Yeah, sure. I'll say it like I'm on the podcast now. But thank you for being a part of this book. Thank you for being a friend, and thank you for showing the world what true forgiveness is all about. And I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thanks for letting me. I appreciate it so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, and
You're welcome. Thank you.
yes, we definitely have to meet up soon. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would love it. I love it.
So
All
what
right.
I was thinking is I was going to make a suggestion. So we have Shaylin and Shauna, and we have Gail, and we have Sonia and Aaron, who are not able to make it right now. So what I was thinking is I will bunch those guys up towards the end. We have three people from the beautiful country of Australia who is here. One of which is always picking on me. I don't even know why we're going to put her on here first, but let's go ahead and bring Dr. Angela Bennett here.
Yay. She doesn't pick on you, does she?
She does. She is the sister I never had. She's the sister I never had, but never really wanted. That's who she is.
She's my favorite person.
Yes. Always picking on me.
It's because I love you.
I know.
Because I love you. Because
I'm so glad she picks on you, because you pick on me. So it's good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, my dear Angela, I love you so much. And I am so glad that you are telling this story. I've been telling you forever, you needed to tell your story. You still need to write the whole book. But it's coming, and I know that. But girl, ever since I met you, you have absolutely astounded me by your joy. And girl, you've been through it. I mean, even since I've met you, you've been through it. Absolutely through it. But even in the mess, you do it with a smile. You have been just an inspiration and encouragement to me. And we've both been through plenty of messes since we've met each other. And I know we've both talked each other through some messes. But I am so proud of you for doing this. And doing it with the chutzpah that you do. And I am just so proud, and I'm so honored that I get to be the one to put it out there. And I am so glad that you didn't walk away from this, and that you stuck to it and you got it done. So I just had to say that. And now Trinus can talk about you, but I love you dearly, and you know that.
I am going to say one thing, and I kind of mentioned it to Angela a couple months ago, and I know she's been very busy. We haven't talked a lot about it, but there's something in the Bible that says faith without works is dead.
Mm-hmm.
A couple months ago, I know, and I'll bring it up because she was very open about it. She was going through a hard time, and me thinking, I'm like, oh crap, she is really going through this hard time. And what I did was I prayed for her as well. I was like, oh, and she was openly, she would pray and she would go. I mean, she was going through a very difficult time. And the first thing that went through my mind, and I hate to say this, it's just the logic and the practicality of it, like, uh-oh, there are, when you're in a situation like that, sometimes we revert back to what we know. Yeah. And she actually got stronger. And, she is like, yeah, absolutely. She's a beast. And I absolutely, I admired that. And I watched the whole thing, and just, her strength is just unbelievable. Angela,
you have come a long way, babe.
You have.
Yeah, because we met, 2018, 2019, Nicole?
Something like that, yeah.
It's been a really long time, and it's been thanks for everything that you said, guys. And when you're going through it, you don't know what people see, and you just one foot in front of the other, and sometimes that's too hard, and so you just got to remember to breathe.
Yeah,
that's it. And in those moments when that's all you can do, and that's okay. And the funny thing was, God gave, and I don't normally get, God gave me a word for the year. I hear these people, I'm like, right, I don't get one. This year I got unspeakable joy, and I'm like, yes. What am I going to face that I need to learn unspeakable joy? Yeah. And I hate it. And I'm like, they're right. Thanks for the heads up, God. Thank you that the joy of the Lord is my strength. Because when I'm living on $15 a week, because I've been fired twice for the first time in my life, and I don't know, and I couldn't afford to eat, and yet all my bills are paid and miraculously paid, and the food in my cupboard that I did have, it never ran dry. I'm like, God, you are true to your character. Like, you are faithful over and over and over and over. And I'm so grateful for these seasons that show me teach me God's faithfulness. Because when I said to him, God, I don't trust you in this, he goes, that's okay, baby girl. Let me teach you how to trust me in this. And you go through it, right? Mm-hmm. And wow, it's been a journey. It's been a year. 2025 has been a year. And I said to God earlier in this year, I want a brand new car that I don't have to pay for. And I landed a job with an electric vehicle company, and now I get a brand new car every day and I don't have to pay for it.
That's awesome.
You're so funny. You're so funny. But I mean, that's now. It wasn't who I was years ago. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity, because my story is my story, but it's for his glory. It's for the glory of God, because I know that everything that I've been through, from rape, molestation, prostitution, addiction, suicidal attempts, I know that 2 divorces, abusive, like the list goes on. And I know that I don't look like what I've been through, praise God. But what was I going to say? everything that I've been through is worth it for me as long as one person gets to hear my story and it shows them that there is hope, that there is a way out. And I know that because I met Bronwyn Healy over a decade, like 2 decades ago, whatever it was. And she was the very first woman who I saw come out of addiction and prostitution and show me that it is possible. It was the tangible, real hope and story that I was looking for of transformation and survival and thriving in life. And you'll get to hear some of her story and read her story in this book as well. So she's a dear friend of mine. But yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know what more to say without taking up too much time.
That is okay, but I'm going to tell you, I appreciate everything. You will be doing a lot of things. We were just talking earlier today, so I just absolutely appreciate you being on here. We are going to bring Tessa on because Tessa has something she has to do. So we're going to bring Tessa on. Go ahead, say whatever you got to say.
Sorry. I know that I have a lot of Australian friends who want to buy this book, and thank you for your support. However, I do need to give a shout out to Dr. Mary J. Huntley. She's already purchased our book. She's in America, so she beat all my Aussie friends to it. But I just want to thank you, Dr. Mary J. Huntley, for supporting me in this journey. You're an incredible woman of God, and I'm just so grateful. And thank you, Nicole and Trunis, for this opportunity. I love you.
It's our pleasure. Love you too.
Tessa's not on here yet.
Tessa should be.
Come on, Tessa.
She's not here yet. She's
We'll
not here yet.
Hold on. She'll pop in.
She's a fabulous woman. You want to hear her story too. Hang around to hear.
Hold on.
She's so
love
cute.
you guys.
All right, I'll put you in the background.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
So have to call me later. Bye, baby.
Call you later. All right.
Yes.
So while we're trying to get Tessa on real quick,
Yes.
let's see what's going on here.
See if Bronwyn's awake.
Oh, she's awake. She just texted me.
Who's chatting me? Oh.
Who is it?
Oh, it's just Angie in the chat.
All right, I'm going
I
to
don't
copy.
have anybody trying to get in yet.
No?
No. Not
Okay.
yet.
Well, let's bring in.
Huh?
Let's see what happens. I sent it again.
Okay.
So
You're
I
sending
sent
her
her.
the invite
I don't know what I'm sending her yet. Okay, yes, I did send her the right thing. All right,
Okay,
good to
good.
go. So,
That's good. Glad to hear it.
all right, we can
What
get
do you wanna-
Bronwyn.
Go ahead and bring Bronwyn in.
Well, let's hold on for a second. Let's just,
Okay, you
but
can
yeah,
talk about Tessa a little. Oh, there she is.
there she goes.
Here she comes.
Tessa, how are you doing?
I'm good. Sorry, I'm running really late for work, but I can talk for like 2
That's okay.
seconds.
All right, we're only going to take you for 2 seconds.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and start. I want to say something about Tessa. Tessa is probably one of the strongest women I know. Tessa
Thank
is
you.
no, I'm serious. And not only is Tessa strong, she's like really kind of commanding, and she's got that silent, like, you're gonna have to do this for me. I got to get it done. And I love that about her. And one thing about her is when she's ready to do something and when she wants to do something, she does it. And I think that is probably one of the things I admire most about her is her determination. And it doesn't matter what it is. That's one of the very few people, successful people, when they sit there and tell you, they don't sit there and brag about it. They say, this is what I'm going to do. I had a conversation with Tessa yesterday, and she shared something that she wanted to do. And she says, I'm doing this because I'm about ready to do this. And when she got done, I know for a fact that it's going to happen. And again, I mean, I just know for a fact. I mean, it's going to be hard. She might sweat a little bit, but it's going to be done. And that is one thing that I really admire about her. And she really does live whatever she says. She lives it. I got to witness that when I saw her in Australia. Some of the sacrifices and some of the things that she does, and I just look at her with total admiration. because there's a lot of things that she does that you know, I think a lot of young women need to see who Tessa is all about, because if more young women were like Tessa today, there'll be a lot less problems, and there'll be a lot of dudes that would probably shut up. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna, yeah, I would say that in a heartbeat. Tessa, thank you for being a part. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead and do your.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for letting me be a part of this. I think more than ever now, because our sex work has become so mainstream that it's kids at a very, very young age are having access to porn and seeing women in a certain way. It's good that a lot of former sex workers like myself and Dr. Ange are coming forward and saying, listen, that is not the way, ladies, please. You're more than your body, and it's not empowering. And you can read by my story as well. I was not empowered, even though I was at the top of my game. And I had a lot of girls that wanted to be in my position, and still to this day ask if I can train them in BDSM because they want to go down that path. Because in BDSM, you don't really have sex with the customer, you're doing stuff to them. And it's a no. I'm sorry, I'm still at my age, I'm still suffering PTSD from what I went through. And yeah, I think it's just God's put a calling now on my life to help others in this. I think it's just a big area to see how people get into that world, how people use their pain and their, especially the past and their trauma, and how it gets used by the enemy to for his work.
You know, you brought something up a couple weeks ago. You were talking about how young ladies are tricked into that industry, and how you're trying to rescue them.
Yeah.
And the tricks are getting more and more slick each time. Is it hard once you're in that for young lady? I'm talking this for young women. Is it hard to get out?
It's hard to get out. If I didn't have God, I'd still be there. I'd still be in that world. I would still be getting groomed back by my friends, by my financial situation, by just not having any identity other than who I was, then Contessa Doll. Because the first few months were rough. It was very hard. And I was crying to God saying, why did you take me out of that place and make me a nobody? I was someone there. People loved me. Now I'm like, I feel like a nobody. But it was the slow process. And God revealed who I really was. God revealed Tessa Williams, not Contessa Doll, the real woman.
I'm going to tell you, I know someone, you introduced me to someone, and I talked to someone just a couple days ago, yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I talked to this individual. You are definitely someone. And I know that the person that you're welcome, and the person that I talked to has the same level of admiration for you, and you know the whole family does, as I do, and as a lot of people do. I'm going to tell you, my mother, my mother is probably one of the toughest women I know, and she is the toughest woman I know because she had to deal with me and my brother, and that really sucked, and my dad. But you know, I said, "Hey, Mom, I got this book coming out," and she listened to the podcast I had with you, and this almost made me feel bad. So I'm glad you're not my sister, because I would have said you're the favorite. She said this. I said, yeah, my book's coming out Friday, and she goes, "Is this the one with Tessa?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm getting that." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm serious. I said, "What about? Is this the one that your son wrote?" No, it's like, "Is this the one with Tessa?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm getting it." She admires you as well.
Thank you.
She
Tell
really
I love
does.
her too.
All right, and she's listening to this, so she already heard it. So,
What's her name?
her name is Jacqueline.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jacqueline. God bless you.
And she really does, and she did say that, and I admire you as well. I
Thank
know
you.
that you're going to find tons of success, but I also know that you have to hurry up and get off. So I'll let you get off and do your thing, and I'll be talking to you here in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
I'll
Thank you
speak
so
to you
much.
soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye.
Oops.
Last but not least, we
Yes.
have for our guest, we have someone who, and I'm going to say this, I said this before, she is literally the reason why the book is called what it's called.
Yeah.
And what the conversation I had with her, and she didn't say like, "Oh my gosh," because the working title that we had before, I'm not even bringing up the working title after she told me about it.
Right.
She just sent me, she literally sent me a thesaurus. She sent me a
Yeah.
thesaurus on, I mean, it came on the phone, and it was
Yeah.
like this text I get from her. I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, and I read it, and then she doesn't say anything else. She doesn't say anything else. She just sends me the thesaurus. And so I look at it. I still have the message. And so what I did was I was like, oh, yeah, let's turn this into something else. And I changed it, and from that point on, it has really taken grown legs, and I appreciate that. She is a great leader. She's a great person, and I'm glad for her. So this is Bronwyn.
Morning.
There
Good
she is.
morning.
Good
Yeah.
morning. Yes, it is
Hi.
morning in Australia. We had to wake everybody up over there so they could hop on with us. But you look so beautiful. You look like you've been awake for hours. So we never knew you were just awake. So you did really good.
Thanks. Thanks. It's my firstborn daughter's 24th birthday today. So
Oh wow.
Happy
I'm awake,
birthday.
ready
Birthday
to celebrate. I get longer to celebrate now. So
Yeah, there you go. Well, you get to have a fun
Yeah.
day, so that's good. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, and I loved your story and the way you went about expressing it and everything that you went through and how you got. I mean, thank you for showing Angela how. And I love her to death. She is like my sister. She's my sister from Australia. Having her here and visiting, she stayed in another apartment here, and so we get close. I love her to death. But reading your story and knowing more about her story, I can't wait to meet you sometime. But yes, thank you for sharing your story and being part of that. Trueness, what you got?
Well, again, thank you very much for sharing the story. I appreciate you being a part of the book, and I definitely wanted you to be a part of this book the whole time. But one thing that amazes me about your situation was how you got into your situation. And the other thing that amazes me, because on Facebook, I see that you were very close to your mother and things like that. How when you go through things now, I know that you I mean, I don't know how to ask this question. And you're very close to your daughters. So my thing is how was, let me ask the question this way. During this transition, what keeps you moving in the direction that you move?
When I talk to people about my story, I'm like, when I met Jesus in drug rehab 26 years ago, so I'm 50 now, so I was 24 years old, same age that my daughter is turning today.
Wow.
Is how old I was when I was going to drug rehab. And I'm held steady. I'm held steady by Father, Son, Holy Spirit, day after day after day after day. And the choice to walk through something with an awareness. I talk about the kids' book that we used to read all the time. Like, I'm going on a bear hunt, and we can't go over it. We can't go under it. And in the book, they say, oh no, we've got to go through it. And my choice over the last 26 years is, oh, yay. Even with tears streaming down my face, oh, yay, I get to go through it. I get to be alive. I get to live this life. I get to be the girl's mum. I get to be the friend that I am to my friends. I got to be my mum's daughter. I get to be a carrier of legacy, the legacy of love, the legacy of kindness, the legacy of truth. I get to go through it. And I heard Ange say before about, I met her 15 something years ago, and I got to come alongside her and hug her and look her in the eye and send text messages that express tangible hope. that said, no matter who you are, what's been done to you, what you've done, there is hope. I'm so aware that my dad used to say when I was completely messed up and, you know, walking through addiction and the sex industry and crime and all sorts of darkness, my dad would say, where there's a heartbeat, there's hope. And I believe it. I believe it. I'm yet to meet anyone with a harder heart than I had when I went to rehab. So now when I tell my story, I say, you know, hi, I'm 𝗞𝗶𝗱𝗶𝗧𝗧, I'm 50 years old. I know I look way younger than that, and it breaks the ice. But when I was 21, I was a messed up woman caught and trapped in, you know, heroin addiction in the sex industry.
Wow.
And I looked and felt and smelt like death warmed up. And I have to believe that if you looked at me today, you didn't think that. You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't guess that, because that's the transforming power of Jesus. That's living a life in line and in communion daily with the Holy Spirit.
Wow. So
yeah.
Now,
I don't know if I even answered your question.
you did. You answered it. You answered it excellent. With your kids, I mean, obviously you're open about your story. Does it cause you? Because I know, like for example, me, I raise my kids, and if I did something that was not right, you know, and I know the consequences of it, I kind of overcorrect with my kids. And I absolutely did that with my older kids, and they'll tell you that. But do you see yourself doing that as well, based on your situation? Because you just brought up your daughter is 24 now, the same age you were when you were going through. And again, I'm going to say happy birthday. But do you see yourself kind of overcorrecting a little bit with your kids now, or no?
My kids, I have solo raised them from the ages of 2, 4, 6, and now they're 20, 22, 24. So their dad and I met in drug rehab, which we both said doesn't come highly recommended. It's not like the world's greatest foundations. And ultimately, my translation of the story, and he might have a different one, is that he chose drugs and alcohol over his family. And so they've always known age appropriately that, and I've always said to them, without him, you wouldn't be here.
Right.
Without him, you wouldn't be here. And if that's the only thing we have to lean into, to be grateful for, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I met him. I'm so glad I went to rehab. I'm so glad that on this 24 years ago, my life was changed forever and for good. And ultimately, becoming a mum was part of what saved me.
Right.
And kept me steady, and has, you know, it's like I say I co-parented with the Holy Spirit. Like, you know, when we sing the song, the Lord will provide everything I need, my Father has it. We used to have like a prayer whiteboard that was like, ask your Father. Like, and so I think for me, age appropriately, they've always known me to be, and I know a couple of them are watching because I text them. I was like, jump on the chat if you're awake. Age appropriately, and as much as they can understand, I've lived authentically before them. Beautiful. So I've always been the mum, and they're the kids. Now they're my 3 favorite people. You know, they're my favorite company. But I, as opposed to overcorrected to like overcompensate for the fact that this is my big, wild, and wonderful God story, you know, they knew that they were loved and valued and created with a purpose at home. So they've always encouraged me to tell this story. Right. You know, they know that was my backstory. That was how I met Jesus. And for them, they've always been like, Mom, if you know, they were little and I got invited to this incredible speaking engagement opportunity actually in America. And they were like, Mom, if you don't go, who's going to tell them? You know, so they too are my greatest cheerleaders.
Beautiful.
So we have a really tender and beautiful shared history, and
That's beautiful.
that probably didn't answer your question.
No, it did. It did, because what it did is it did. I mean, one thing that, um, when we're younger, and I mean, my teenage years were not awesome when it comes to relationships. It really wasn't. And so, when I see my sons and daughters, like, and I see something, or I'm triggered, like, oh, wait, your dad did that. No, that's not, it's like, I don't want to, I kind of overcorrected. You put in a lot of balance, and again, you were very practical, and you were very spiritual, more importantly, with your children. And that's what I was wondering, how does that go? Is there a level of trauma that you've induced through your past addiction that kind of carries over to your parenting? And you answer the question correctly, or the way you I don't want to say correctly. It's not like this is a test, but you know what I mean. That was horrible. The professor of me is coming out now. You answer the question exactly the way we want it. But no, it's a good answer. Bronwyn, thank you ever so much for being a part of this program. And I will say this, and I'm saying this jokingly. All right, thank you for getting up so early in the morning, because I know you did this for me and everybody else on this book launch, and I totally appreciate this, because it is 7 a.m. Now. It is still Friday where we are. It is 7 a.m. Saturday, and even I get up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Even I tend to sleep in a little bit on Saturday morning, and so for you to do that, it's a beautiful thing, and I appreciate it.
Mhm.
I will be seeing you when I do go to Australia in March. I will be talking to you about some things, obviously, offline, and I appreciate you being a part of the book. And your story is going to change, and it's going to help a lot of lives. Thank you so much.
Thanks for inviting me in.
You're welcome. Thank you for doing it. And also, again, third time, happy birthday. I did not get her a gift, but happy birthday anyway. So thanks.
Thanks.
You're on mute.
Take on it.
There you go.
Thank you. And go have an amazing time celebrating your girl. I know how fun that is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's
chat about some of these other authors, please.
I want to say 𝗖𝗍𝗆 Patrick, Dr. Patrick, she is an outstanding individual. She is somebody who was somebody who was affected by someone else. Her story is, and her story, if you are a mother, and you are, and it's funny, mothers more so than fathers. And I don't mean to say this as a father. I'm saying this, and I'm not. I got to say this in the right way. I really do. Mothers
have a different kind of relationship with their children.
Yes. Yeah. Not only do they have a different relationship, they are mothers' relationship with children. Like fathers, for some reason, society says fathers are going to jack up. The fathers are going to go out, and the fathers are going to go out and get some milk and never show up. That's seriously, that's what fathers. Sometimes
the moms are there to nurture and take care of. And
when it's the other way around, when it's the other way around, it is literally. I think it has a higher level of trauma than when the dads do it.
That's true.
And I think that's it. And when you read Dr. Patrick's story, you're going to see that.
Yeah.
And then we have Shauna Fry. Shauna Fry is another person. Like I said, I went to high school with Scott in Buffalo, New York. That's where I graduated. Right. I graduated from Williamsville East High School in Buffalo, New York, in Williamsville, New York, which is a suburb of Buffalo. But when my parents separated, I went to school for a very short time in Brazil, Indiana. And that's where I met Shauna. And, Facebook is that ever connector, you know what I mean? And so I was sitting there on Facebook. This was probably 20 something, 11, 10, something like that. And I get a friend request from Shauna, and I accepted it. And when I accepted the friend request, I found out that she's very open about it. Hey, I'm in a halfway house and I'm working at Dairy Queen. And then I read her story. I'm like, whoa, wow. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a horrible story. And what I mean by horrible story, I mean, it was federal time.
Right.
And to watch what she is doing today
Yeah.
is beyond outstanding. I
Yeah.
mean, and it's almost like, I'm going to fix everything that was broken. And then we have Gail and Sonia Howell.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm bringing them up together is because that's a
Yeah.
mother-daughter situation.
Yes.
And that is the opposite of what happened with Dr. Patrick,
Right.
where, yes, there was an issue with the mom, and the daughter stepped up in like the grandest of ways,
Mm-hmm.
and and fixed everything. The thing is with this book, I definitely want everybody to buy the book.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. I do want to say that there are proceeds that go to help people in this situation. We work with organizations, and we're reaching out to organizations throughout the world. If you are watching this and you're like, hey, how can I get involved and how can I be a part of this? Then we will definitely would love to talk to you. The my pod not my podcast, my
Website.
website. Yeah, you can reach me at the website. You can also get me on my email or something, anything like that. It's funny how
Yeah.
you just forget different things that you're
Word.
supposed to say. 54. That's what it is. It's 54.
Oh, okay.
But make
I got
sure you're not gonna you're gonna remember for about another 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
But yeah, so make sure that you reach out to me. We'll be happy to help you. Again, we are trying to help you with this book. This book is inspirational. And
Yes.
Again, like I said, this weekend, $199, not only in the US, but we are, we are going to do something. We're going to do the opposite of what economists do throughout the world. We're going to
Right.
forget the exchange rate.
Right.
All right. And we are going to do $199 here, $199 in the beautiful country up north of Canada, and $199 in Australia, New Zealand,
Yes.
and UK. Now UK $199. We're actually, I want everybody in UK to buy it because their currency is actually more than ours, and I want everybody to get it. This is a
Right.
$199 all weekend long. That is for sure. Thank you
Yeah.
so much,
Yeah.
Dr. Nicole.
Dr. Nicole. Oh my gosh, you've never called me that. Okay, Dr. Turnus.
Uh-huh.
Change the cover.
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah, I'm so excited for this book. We will have a way for Canadians to get this book at the book fair. We won't have books in hand, but we will have the way for them to order the book when we are up there in Canada next week. But I am so blessed by these authors and their stories. And thank you for the ones that could come tonight, the ones that couldn't come. We will tell your stories other times. But thank you to everybody who was able to watch this. If you're watching it later, share it with your friends and family, and get this book. You will be blessed by the stories. And if you know anybody that is struggling with addiction, that's being trafficked or is battling that kind of industry or is being abused, and they won't talk about it, get them this book. Maybe they'll read the book and the stories will reach them. All right, y'all. We will see you next time.